Hey guys, it's Paradise, and there have been some insanely awesome monsters to fight in the Monster Hunter series. With Monster Hunter Wilds on the horizon, it feels like the perfect time to start imagining the epic battles that we might face. From returning fan favorites to exciting collaborations, the possibilities are endless, and today we're diving into the monsters that we're dreaming of seeing in this new game. Before we get into it though, what's one or a few monsters that you're hoping to see in Wilds? Drop it in the comments below, and it better not be that Dosh Cephadrome. Also, don't forget to put a like on the video if you're as hyped as we are for Wilds, so we can hopefully share that excitement. And as a quick note, we aren't covering any unofficial rumors floating around, it's just too spoilery for us, so this is purely based on our own hopes and ideas. And since Elder Dragons aren't expected to play a big role in Wilds as per developer interviews, we mostly have left them off the list. But if Altura could make it into the game, that would blow our minds. Please let there be hope for Altura. But let's kick things off with two monsters that everyone either loves or hates. Devil Joe the World Eater, aka Pickle, and Basil, our favourite flying bomber. These two are the kings of unexpected chaos in hunts, swooping in to take you down and shaking things up in some of the most annoying but also thrilling ways. Imagine that heart-pounding, exciting feeling of seeing one of these guys drop in a hunt to invade you in Monster Hunter Wilds. So love them or hate them, it's this kind of chaos that spices things up in Monster Hunter and makes every hunt so unique. So I'm very much hoping at least one of them will make a return, or perhaps a new invading monster, which would be cool too. But next up is a monster that's been missing for far too long. It's Gammoth. It's the only member of the Fated Four not to return since Generations Ultimate, so Gammoth is long overdue for a comeback. This massive territorial titan uses its tusks, trunk, and legs in creative ways to keep us hunters on our toes. And let's not forget about the icy armor that you have to break through, adding a satisfying layer of challenge. So is it time for Gammoth to finally stomp its way back into the series? With the other Fated Four making a return in recent Monster Hunter games and expansions, Glavenus was added in Iceborne, Mizu was added in Rise, and Astalos was added in Sunbreak. So Gammoth is looking front and center for Wilds when it comes to this pattern. Now let's talk about some epic collaborations and dream for a second. Monster Hunter World set the bar high with its incredible collabs, and do you remember the Behemoth fight? It was such a spectacle and even had the extreme version giving that challenge for veteran hunters. It was just an overall unforgettable hunt. But now imagine if Wilds upped the ante by adding in Bahamut from Final Fantasy. This huge awe-inspiring summon from Final Fantasy is packed with iconic moves, so Bahamut would be a jaw-dropping addition, and Yoshi P even teased this possibility in interviews, so fingers crossed this could happen. It would be one of the most memorable hunts for a collab. Now let's talk about a true fan favorite, Lagiacrus or Lagiacrus depending on how you want to say it. Either way, he's the Lord of the Seas. Whether underwater combat is making a return or not, which seems unlikely based on developer interviews, Lagi deserves to be in Wilds with its sleek design, thunder-based attacks, and ability to fight both on land and sea, making it one of the most memorable monsters in the series. Lagi hasn't appeared in a mainline game for a while, but it was super fun to both fight and fight with Lagi in stories too. So we think it's time for a bit of a change and for Lagi to come back. But what about those spooky fights that you have in caves? Look no further than Kezu, the creepy pale wyvern, with some of the most unsettling moves in the game. Whether it's hanging from the ceiling in a cave, or using its freakishly long neck to attack, it is iconic. Plus, it has one of the most banger themes, just listen to this. Alright, jokes aside, I do also want to highlight Gigax, its leech-like sort of cousin that also has toxic power and even lays eggs that just adds another dimension to the fight. With Wilds featuring extensive cave systems in what we've seen so far and the new 3D map making use of vertical space, we feel that caves will be featured in other locales, so monsters that live in caves like these two would be right at home. Now let's switch gears back to another potential crossover. Horizon Zero Dawn collabs gave us some amazing skins and even weapon skins back in World, but imagine if we actually got to hunt a Thunderjaw. This iconic mechanical monster from Horizon would be the perfect fit for Monster Hunter, and it would just be a great fight all around. Also consider if Gammoth does return, it will be the perfect skeleton to add in Tremortusk from Horizon Forbidden West, which is basically a giant elephant or mammoth style machine. The possibilities are definitely endless and we are so here for it, but also consider that Horizon is supposedly working on a multiplayer game in the future, which is probably going to play something like Monster Hunter, considering the game is all about taking down those big machines with a variety of weapons, which would just be super awesome if done right. Now, we can't talk about fan favorites without mentioning Zenoa. As the 20th anniversary poll winner for favorite monster of all time, Zenoa has cemented itself as a staple of the series. Now, Wilds has introduced Raidao, a new Thunder monster and Apex monster, meaning Zenoa's return feels a little less certain, but its sheer popularity makes it hard to ignore. We would really be shocked if Zenoa didn't make the cut into the roster. Of course, we also have to mention and include Nagakoua, the stealthy and agile monster known for its iconic moves and great gear. Nagakoua is a staple across the series and is just such a fun monster, great to learn, great to fight, and great to farm, so I'm also hoping Nagakoua will be in there too, even though I feel like that seems like a high probability. Now, we haven't really spoke about icy regions, but of course that would be required for Gammoth. However, I think it is likely to get an icy or snowy region, and with that in mind, how about Zamtrios? This land shark monster has an interesting dual form combat style, where it can both inflate itself or coat itself in ice armor, making it fight unlike any other. If there is a snowy region in Wilds, Zamtrios definitely deserves a spot, and also we just need more shark monsters. But finally, let's talk about the dynamic beetle duo with one of the most unique combat mechanics in the series, it's Celtus and Celtus Queen. These two can combine, protect each other, and execute devastating attacks together, with Wilds already introducing new insect-style monsters, with things like Lala Barina. Celtus and Celtus Queen would be a perfect fit, and I think again it's long overdue that we get more beetle, insectoid-style monsters, and the combining aspect of these two is just awesome. So what do you think of our picks? And put yours down below so we can get a gist of what all of us hunters want to see in Wilds. The countdown for the release is getting closer and closer, and we can't wait to see what is in store. I think it's very likely we'll see some new exciting stuff for Monster Hunter at the Game Awards, which is rapidly approaching, so know that we'll have you covered with new videos going over whatever new official details we have, if the beta or demo will come back, if there's new monsters or locales shown, and all that good stuff. But make sure to drop a like and subscribe below for more Monster Hunter and videos on your favorite games coming very, very soon.